Hi, Mr. Harris. First, I want to start off by saying that everything that you and I talk about today is confidential, that nothing goes further than you and I. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
Okay, so how is your day going so far today?
It's been going good. It's been a long day. It's been, really busy trying to get some stuff going and create some more revenue for my company.
Okay,
So,
that's right. You do have your own company. How is that going?
it's going good. There are some challenges in between as far as trying to, put bids in and making sure that the work is getting done correctly. Making sure that I stand up behind what, the vision is for the company and stuff like that. So, it's going good.
Good, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So, what brings you in today?
Well, while it's going good, the struggle for me is that I don't have the proper balance when it comes between running a business and being a full time pastor and a husband and a father as well. So and it's caused a little tension in my home. And so I'm I'm trying to see if I could get this thing together for me. I guess I don't know.
Okay, so when you say get it together, what in particular are you trying to get together? What is the main issue in your balance problem?
Not having the proper balance as far as like time management.
Okay,
Um,
so the time management, is that something you're concerned with, or
Well, it's something that I have been concerned with, but it's been more so on my wife recently because of all the pressures that she's dealing with at home, running, the kids and being in school as well, and so the stress has increased for her, and she's come to me with this issue. So it's probably more on her than it is me, and I want to make sure that I'm doing what I have to do as a husband, to make sure she's good.
well, first off, that's awesome that you're looking to be on top of this issue and that you're looking to work it out as far as your wife's concerns, and that you're seeking to find a solution to the problem. So I think that's great. Um, what is it that your wife is looking for you to do that she doesn't feel is happening?
I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing big. It's small stuff. Things uh, that she could forget because she's so busy handling the big things. So, say for example, the kids need to make sure they get their showers, or make sure their homework is getting done, or making sure they're taking their medicine. I know in the past, what, probably week or so, our youngest son has been really sick, and so the antibiotics that they had him on, he has a time that he takes it. And so a lot of times my wife could forget that because she's taking care of everything else, and then I may not even put time in to go make sure he has his medication. And so those type of things, those small things, really start to um, frustrate her, and she has been getting like overwhelmed with it. And so I'm just trying to pay attention. So, but it's just a struggle because I don't know how to do it all the way, or what to balance, or whatever the case is. Um, when it comes to my faith, there's an order that I have to stick by, and there's a fine line between that order that I try not to cross. But
Hmm.
it's a struggle.
I can understand based on all the information that you're giving me how that could be a struggle or very stressful. Um, I know as a parent myself that children are a handful. So, what do you think you could do to better this situation? Is there a way that you feel that you could balance this time out better?
um, I mean, it's hard because I mean, being a husband, one of the jobs that I have to do is make sure I'm making sure she's happy, and everything is taken care of, on that end. And then there's a father, being able to understand my children, spend time with them, making sure that they understand what I'm doing, and then you go into me being a pastor. That in itself is a whole different world because the time invested there is with counseling people and mentoring young kids and all this type of stuff. And then the other thing is just running a business. It's very hard for me to find that, but like I said, I've been trying to find that area of what can I do or what can I let go, but I don't have that option to let anything go. So then it just leads me to, what do I do?
Wow, I could see how that would be very concerning. Is all the time that you spend with work and your ministry, because those seem to be the ones in your wife's mind that are getting more time. Is there anywhere that you can let up on either of those two things? Is that a possibility?
Well, I mean, like I said, as a pastor, I haven't really stepped out into my pastoral responsibilities to the fullest yet. So I'm at the first beginning, steps, whatever, as far as like I said, with the counseling and the mentoring and
Hmm.
preaching and stuff like that. Um, that in itself is connected while I'm at home. So, perfect example. I'm preparing for a message to speak on a Bible study or a Sunday. 9 times out of 10, I'm at home. My house isn't that big, so I'm still there in the presence of our children and my wife. And so, if there's something that needs to be done, then she doesn't have to call me or anything. So, being a pastor in that role, it really isn't a time management issue in my mind. I think it is because I'm at home.
Hmm.
Um, Running a business, I would probably say that's where the challenge is because I'm doing everything,
Hmm.
whether it be the bids, the job, monitoring the workload, what's going in, what's coming out. Um, there's a lot that comes in behind all of that it requires the time. Um, but I just can't find the balance to know when to stop. I'm a hard worker. I've been a hard worker all my life. I don't want to get that abused or misused when trying to be a husband to my wife. So it's just a struggle. But I don't want to quit anything. I don't want to add on anything. I gotta find that balance, and I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so I mean, listening to you, I hear your concern as far as making sure that you are on top of your home duties, on top of your responsibilities as a husband and as a father. And I also see your concern when it comes to the tension it's causing between you and your wife. So, why don't we try to come up with a treatment plan to start to reconcile this situation? How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, so I know that based off of what you're saying, you have some major time constraints, especially when it comes to your job. Is it possible for you to take out a half hour to an hour 3 to 4 times a week with your children to start off with?
No, I don't think so.
So that's something that you feel you can make happen
Yeah,
at home
yeah, I think I like to have it.
and that wouldn't cause any excess stress on you.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then also because I personally know how trying it can be with children and trying to balance that and trying to be a wife. Is it possible to spend three 3 to 4 days out of the month with just your wife? Maybe you guys get a babysitter or you go out and have a date 3 to 4 times a month. Is that a possibility or is that reaching?
No, I think that's a possibility. I mean, I don't see why. I mean, I definitely don't see why that would be a problem because majority of the weekend opens up a window for us to do that. You know. It's just a matter, like you're saying, dedicating that time to do it. You know, to be able to spend time with my wife.
Okay. So, one, I want to say how awesome it is that you're on board with this plan. So, why don't we go ahead and try to make that happen? You're going to spend that half hour to an hour 3 to 4 times a week with your children and spend that evening or day date, whatever you guys come up with, 3 to 4 times a month with your wife, and we'll see where you are next time you come in and if that has caused any improvement on the tension in your household.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear about how things go next time I see you.
Cool.
All right.
All right.